Well, this season is just full of surprises, isn't it? Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another of my Death Battle prediction videos. And next time on Death Battle, after Sauron vs Lich King, we have Deku from My Hero Academia versus Asta from Black Clover. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was pretty surprised to see this fight get revealed. I know this fight has been talked about before and all that, but the main matchups that I was anticipating for Deku, were characters like Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, Gon from Hunter x Hunter, which was actually a fight I put into my Death Battle Season 9 Part 2 prediction video, just as a one-off guess. And for Asta, really the only character I was thinking he would fight is Meliodas, which is another fight I put into that prediction video. So I was thinking it was possible that either one of these characters could be coming to Death Battle Season 9, but I had no idea that they were going to be fighting each other. But even still, this is not something I'm going to lose my head over or anything like that. I still think this fight works rather well, actually. Like, they do have pretty strong connections, and I think it's a perfectly fine fight. And either way, it still means that we're continuing to get new characters in this season, which is always good. Now, trying to figure out exactly how strong these characters are is a little tough, but we'll see what we can do. In terms of raw power output for Deku, let's first look at what Death Battle said about All Might. Death Battle said that All Might in his prime would be able to exert nearly 1.5 teratons of TNT based on his feats when he was in a weakened state, and All Might's own estimations of his true power, essentially a power multiplier. Now, I don't know if Death Battle would stick to that same methodology today, but if they would, that means that Deku at 100% could potentially be in that ballpark. And if we want to go even higher, Deku at 45% fought against Shigaraki, who supposedly possessed the power of All Might. Whether or not this is prime All Might is a little unclear, and I think this scaling is a little shaky, but if we accept it for now and say that this was referring to prime All Might, this means that Deku at 100% could potentially reach past 3 teratons of TNT. However, this is just one theory, not everybody buys this, and that's perfectly fair. I just wanted to throw it out there. And regardless of that, it was revealed that Deku could use the abilities of the previous One For All users on top of the One For All quirk, which makes things a little more interesting. In terms of the new quirks that Deku has, or newer, he's got Black Whip, which lets him create and control an energy tendril, Float, which gives him some aerial control, Danger Sense, which alerts him of danger, Smoke Screen, which lets him emit smoke, and here's the big one, Fa Jin, which lets him store kinetic energy and release it all at once, giving him various bursts of even greater strength and speed. On top of all of that, Deku can obviously produce various smashes with his One For All quirk, which he could theoretically increase the power of with Fa Jin, at least at specific moments. We know he can strategize and anticipate enemies very well and is a very skilled hand-to-hand combatant thanks to his training, and we know that based off of his feats, his fights with fellow students, and stat increases, he should realistically be in the massively hypersonic to relativistic range and speed, and could potentially go further. So now we have Asta, and Asta is one of those characters who keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger like Deku, but unfortunately we don't have a realistic, obvious cap that we can place him at. That being said, though, we don't need to get an exact number for him, we really just need to be able to determine if he can realistically surpass the levels that we can realistically assign to Deku. And personally, yeah, I think he might be able to do it. While I don't think this is always the most reliable method, it can sometimes help to look at the world that a character is in to try to get an idea for the intended strength of that character. And simply put, there are a number of characters in Black Clover who can reach feats of a higher caliber, such as characters like the Spirit Salamander, who can evaporate an entire sea, and Asta beats someone explicitly more powerful than this in his Black Asta form. And there are characters whose magic can span across the entire country-sized kingdom. Asta in his Devil Union form was even able to kill the Spade Kingdom demon, who was stated to be a country-level threat. Now, is it fair to say that Asta can reach these levels regardless of what form he's in? It's hard to say, but considering he's since become one of the strongest characters of his universe, and considering that even his super forms have increased in power over time, it's kind of unreasonable to say that he can't reach the higher ranks of these ranges, or potentially beyond, at his absolute best. Now, Asta's anti-magic is a little weird, only because Deku doesn't use magic for his abilities, which admittedly throws the effectiveness of a lot of Asta's offense in into question. We know that Asta won't be nullifying or resisting or undoing pretty much any of Deku's abilities. However, we do know that Asta can use his swords to interact with physical objects and beings regardless of if they're magical, and it's pretty well established that, anti-magic doesn't just allow you to dispel any magic regardless of how powerful it is. The user still needs to be powerful enough to counter the magic that they're working with. So, while his power may not be exactly as effective against non-magic, it should still be pretty damn effective. And in terms of his powers that he gains from his various spells and forms and swords, he can fly, he can project energy, increase his physical abilities, enter a berserk mode of sorts, use precognition, and use a number of other techniques that primarily nullify magic, along with just being a skilled swordsman and strategist. And when it comes to his speed, it's very similar to looking at his power. Even before the time skip, Asta was keeping up with characters who were at least relativistic, like Ghosh, who could reflect light beams. I believe Asta also has his own faster than light feats, either pre or post time skip, I don't remember. But either way, when you factor in the time skip along with the swords and the super forms, you're looking at many times faster than light at his best, at least. And yes, I am aware that some of Asta's super forms don't last very long, like the Devil Union form I believe only lasts around 5 minutes, but even still, if the super form makes you stronger and faster than your opponent, and nothing stops you from killing your opponent, and it doesn't really pose a major threat to you, then there's no real reason to believe that the super form would be outlasted more times than not. Just something to keep in mind. So if we're looking at the stats here between the characters, even if we don't know the exact potential for either of them, I think we still have enough information to understand the general comparison. Even if we want to say that Deku scales above All Might through his fight with Shigaraki, even if we want to give that to him, I still believe that Asta can surpass that at his most powerful, just based on all the other feats in Black Clover and the rate of increase for his own power, both in terms of the super forms, but also just in terms of the progression of Black Clover and his role within that world. Both Asta and Deku can use precognitive abilities, but I definitely want to say that Asta is still much faster, again, just based on his feats and other similar characters. I don't really think there's a realistic multiplier you could give Deku that could even that kind of gap. Fa Jin could absolutely give him a brief speed boost and give him some incredibly powerful strikes, but I don't think we've seen enough evidence of it to know for sure that it would turn the tides, especially since, Deku can't use it at all times, so I don't know if that'd be enough to just switch everything around. I will say that Asta not being able to use all of his abilities at their most powerful because Deku doesn't use magic is really unideal for him, but still, a lot of his AP should still apply in this fight, and I still want to say that he has enough abilities to counter all of Deku's abilities, especially given his stats. So as of right now, I'm leaning more towards Asta winning personally. Maybe I'm missing something really big, and if I am, then so be it, but I just think that the evidence lies more in Asta's favor. But of course, this is all just my opinion. I want to hear what all of you guys have to say. Are you excited for this fight? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we have 2 more episodes left of season 9. I'm really excited to see how they turn out. That's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.